If I were to ask you, why do we need more women in leadership position? What would you say? In this video, I'm going to give you my own answer to that question. But before I do so, I'd like to take a step back in time. Hi, my name is Alena Huberova, and if you see me for the first time, I help women in management to become the bosses they always wished they had. Now, this is going to make me feel really, really old, but I'm going to think about the environment, about the workplace back then, when I first started working, when I basically stepped into my first job. And now I'm talking maybe 25 years ago, long time ago. When I think of that workplace, my first job, and of the people that were there with me, we all came from the same town. We had very similar backgrounds. We spoke the same language. We obviously came from the same culture. We somehow had very similar working style and working ethics. And also we had similar expectations. Basically for us, our job was means to an end. We sat in the office from Monday to Friday, and we did what we had to do. Our boss gave us instructions, we followed the instructions issued, and that was it. And at the end of the month, we received our salary. All right, that was what the work was all about. Now, when you compare maybe your first job, unless you are right now in your first job, then you've got no comparison. But if you can make that comparison and now think of the workplace today, what a difference, don't you think? If you're watching this video, the chances are that you're probably working in an international environment. Think about how your office looks like. You look around and you see people of different color, people of completely different backgrounds, different cultures, different opinions, different beliefs, different working styles. If it wasn't for a language that you had to learn yourself, you would not even understand them, right? So my first point is, when we look at the workplace back then and now, we have to see that it became very complex and very diverse. And that's good. That is good. Just Google diversity and you will see all of the most reputable institutions, they confirm that diversity is actually extremely valuable for any global company. Why? Because diversity fosters innovation. Global companies or international companies that want to remain competitive, that want to grow their market share, they need to be innovative, and diversity helps you do that. So yes, the workplace has become very complex and diverse, and that is definitely here to stay because we need that. But then the other side of complexity and diversity is such workplace is very, very difficult to manage. We'll get to it. So, the workplace. Now, when you look at the employees' expectations back then and now, also there is a dramatical shift. I'm talking about the high talent employees that we want to have in our organizations. Their expectations are dramatically different. They are actually highly demanding, not only of themselves, but they have high expectations and high demands of their employers. They expect their jobs to be meaningful. They really want to feel that they have certain contribution to the company, that the company listens to them, values them, and uses their potential. I remember A while ago, I read an interview with a recruiter from Silicon Valley, and he said, we get very tough questions from candidates in job interviews. Something that we definitely didn't get in the past. Questions such as, so what's the company vision? What kind of projects will I be asked to work on? What if I disagree with the project? Can I just move on to another project? How is the company going to support my own growth? Yeah, and questions like that. Something that we certainly didn't get in the past. So the talented employees, they expect their job to be meaningful, and they expect their employer to really give them an opportunity to self-realize. So there you have it. On one hand, you've got a workplace that is very complex and diverse. And on another hand, you've got employees that have very high expectations, and they are difficult to retain. Now, when you take these two factors into account, that puts the leaders under a lot of pressure, because how do you handle that? How do you make sure that all these very demanding and very different employees come together and they collaborate in order to help the company accomplish its goals? How do you do that? It's very complicated, isn't it? So the pressure on leaders is huge. We still need leaders who have got all the hard expertise, hard skills. Yeah, so we need them to have experience. We need them to be credible, to have all the knowledge and expertise they need in order to do the job. But we also need them to have more subtle, softer skills. We need leaders who are highly socially apt and who genuinely care about their people, who genuinely want to support the employees and to help them grow in the job, who really put the people first, because they realize that it's the people that make the numbers, not the other way around. So, if I was to sum it up, we need leaders with relationship intelligence. I'm sure that you have heard about emotional intelligence. Now I want to bring up another concept, a concept that I borrow from someone I highly respect, a brilliant psychologist called Esther Perel. She talks about relationship intelligence in the context of relationships. So I want to borrow that concept. We need leaders with relationship intelligence. And guess what? If you're a lady watching this video, then you probably know this. This plays to your strength, because we women, we tend to have more relationship intelligence than our lovely male counterparts. Look, when you take gender studies, they typically confirm the fact, I mean, we all know that men and women, they're dramatically different. But from gender studies, we also know that we definitely tend to be more interested in people than in objects. That is something that men are interested in. They are more interested in objects than in people. Now, because people are so important to us, we want to develop and maintain healthy relationships. Relationships for women are super important. A woman grows and gets a lot of energy if she creates an environment in which relationships strive, because it gives her energy. She really cares about relationships. On the other hand, if she works in an environment where the relationships are broken, Or maybe her own relationship with her colleagues or with her superiors is not working very well. She suffers. Relationships are actually the biggest stressors for women. Whereas for men, the typical stressors are more performance related. So we women, we have a lot of relationship intelligence, provided that we are still connected with our feminine side. Not all women are. You have a lot of women in organizations that adopted a leadership style that is more typical of men. I find this in my work every single day, I'm afraid. We have women who are not really in tune with their feminine side. In fact, many of the women, they suppress or even disconnected from the feminine side. And if that's the case, it's very difficult for them to tap into their relationship intelligence. But if you are a woman and you appreciate who you are and you bring in your feminine qualities into the leadership, the chances are that you are highly relationship intelligent. So, my friend, if you were to ask me why we need more women in leadership positions, that would be my answer. Because we women tend to have more relationship intelligence. And guess what? That is exactly what the companies need nowadays. Because that is the way to bring people together, to make them feel respected and valued and listened to, so that they tap into their own potential and help the company achieve its goals. So relationship intelligence is needed to get people to collaborate, to get people to co-create, to get people to be really engaged in the team effort. Relationship intelligence. And that is playing to the strength of us women. That is why we need more women in management. Or at least that is what I think. That's my food for thought for today. Let me know what you think. I'm always interested in having a conversation about such important topics. So that's it from me today. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share it with a colleague of yours, please do that. And otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.